Hello, hello. Welcome in, everyone, to the first episode of 2023 for Comic Book Women. We are kicking it off strong. Tonight, we are going to be covering the DC animated universe. This is a passionate topic for everybody, especially Jen. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Before we get going, a quick thank you to Cover Price. They are our sponsors, so any of the data that you see on the screens, we grabbed from their site or their app, whichever you use. And shout out to Bird City Comics, our sponsored retailers. Before we get started, we have the giveaway from last Tuesday. Lucy, did you forget? We'll get to that later then. Did you forget?
I did. But I'll work on it right now while we talked. So ignore me for a little bit.
So if you guys were here last Tuesday, we are giving away, gosh, it's around here somewhere. We're giving away a slab. So we'll grab that. It's based on any of the comments that are left after the show. We'll also be doing another giveaway tonight, which we'll bring up later.
Slab?
Huh?
It was a good slab.
I don't know what I did with it. Hold on. Oh, found it.
Oh, the mesh.
It's not just a slab. Like, excuse me. Yeah.
All right, here we go. It's the 9.0 Amazing Spider-Man 365. And that's going home with somebody who commented on the show last week just for being awesome.
So if you comment right now, it's not going to count. It's over. It's done. You lost. Just kidding.
Lucy, once you have the wheel ready, just drop it in the private chat and we'll get that done at the beginning of the show. In the meantime, while she's building that, let's get started. Jen, we'll start with you. Why is the DC animated universe so important to you?
I grew up with it. The Batman animated series was in 92. I was in second grade. And I vividly remember being in awe. It was definitely way more, like when you rewatch it, which you can definitely do on HBO Max, it's like I had Britt watch a couple of it and she's like, this is a kid's show. I'm like, yeah, it was very like mature storylines. It really teaches you these lessons in like it didn't treat you like a little kid. It's like, hey, you're a person. This is some stuff that's happening. And it's in my heart.
And very good. And we're not covering everything tonight, right? We're specifically focused on the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah, so we're focusing on the 14 years of sort of continuity. I know the first two seasons of Batman animated series wasn't meant to do what it did, but it's what started it all. And so we're only covering this little bricket of time, which is why we did part 3, right?
Yeah, we have a lot to cover tonight too. So Sarah, what about you? Any exposure to DC animated universe?
Yeah, just like Jen, this was kind of like my childhood. Like, I kind of grew up with Adam West as my Batman, but also as Michael Keaton. But I have to say that the Batman animated series was that is my Batman. So totally with Jen. This is pure nostalgia for me.
Haley.
So
I'm proving that right.
Chad and Lord of Brooklyn, you would be right. I haven't watched any of these. I was watching like some of the videos like about the animated series. My boyfriend's over and he was like, I loved these. I was like, I have no idea. Like none of this, all above like over my head. I know. But they're all on HBO Max. So now I'm like way more intrigued and excited to dive into it because it looked so good. And yeah, I just have never been a DC person or Batman person. So there was never anything driving me to it. And I was born in 95. So like it just, when I was growing up, this just like wasn't like really on my radar, to be quite honest. So
we'll convert her. Before we move on though, shout out to Namesh, our first super chat of the year. Namesh is basically like a member of this crew. Thank you so very, very much. And we don't really have anything that we're doing yet. We'll have to think about it. We'll come
just
up with
waiting for the new sound, honestly.
Yeah, like what do you do in January? It's like that's a tricky one. Yes, you were vindicated, but we're gonna teach Haley. This is good. That's kind of
I watched Home Alone.
Yeah, it only took a year.
Hey, better late than never, right?
Yeah.
Well,
right, can I say about me, like about the anime, like the same, like I mean, obviously not as passionate as Jen, but I just feel like it takes me back to like watching it with my cousins, like waiting, watching that Batman, and like the Power Rangers. It was almost at the same time, like that same era, like watching those, sitting down in the front of the TV, and yeah, I remember like being more serious in some of them, like watching the episodes and being like, oh my god, what the heck did I just watch? Um, and one of the videos that Jen sent, to kind of, because I told her like I honestly, it's been a long time since I watched them. I don't remember much, but watching one of the videos, I remember some of the episodes, and I'm like, oh my god, I remember watching that episode and being like, that is so sad. I want my mom.
And
Yeah.
you guys can definitely catch back up and watch a lot of it. It's not all on HBO Max, but a lot of it is. But They Call Me Bruce is correct. This is kind of, there's a couple reasons why we're talking about this at this moment, and then it's good to rewatch whenever you want to. But so James Gunn has said, like, I guess they're going to take inspiration from the cartoons. They did a really good job with the stories, some great writers. But sadly, HBO Max is losing Justice League and Justice League Unlimited January 28th. So if you want to rewatch Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, you only have until January 28th of this month, 2023, to watch on HBO Max. After that, try your half price books or any used bookstore that has used DVDs. Usually it's around like $10 ballpark.
There you go. We have so much to cover tonight, guys, so I'm going to keep us cruising. There are about 40 of you in the chat right now. Make sure that you give the show a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please sub. All right. We wanted to include this a little bit. Again, if any of you out there are animated fans, we wanted to give memory or pay tribute to Kevin Conroy, who passed away this year. There were a lot of amazing creators that passed away this year, actually. But this one stings.
And Kevin Conroy is, if you look at everyone who's ever played or voiced Batman, he has done it the longest. And he's iconic, and he was mega nice when I got to meet him. But I was
you got to meet him?
Yeah, at a Comic-Con I was working at, I got to meet him backstage, and I was just thanking him for, being my Batman and all the things that I learned from the TV series. And then they're like, do you want a photo? And I'm like, no, I just want to say thank you. And now I'm like,
oh, you should have.
If he offered, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Last year. I forgot we're in 2023. Last year. He passed away last year. So, yeah, tribute to him. Girls, anything to add on this one?
He's just an icon. He's an iconic voice actor. And again, like, that he will represent my Batman. So it's sad.
I think Anthony feels that way too. Especially if he used to fall asleep. He actually still falls asleep listening to these shows. So.
Oh.
All right, let's kick it off. What do we have here, Jen?
So the next two slides are the TV series that we're covering. So Batman animated series was in 92, following Superman animated series in 96, and then Batman and Robin / Batman The New Adventures in 97, and then Batman Beyond was in 1999. That's the first start of this like connective universe that they started.
No, what's this?
And then followed by Static Shock in 2000. Zeta Project was in 2001. Justice League 2001, and Justice League Unlimited in 2004. And it goes all the way to 2006. So from 92 to 2006, it was the first time in cartoons or in a continuity that we saw a big connective universe. Like you saw Static Shock in Batman Beyond, and you saw an older Virgil, and you're like, I love continuity and the fact that they kept drawing it around. And even in Unlimited, when you got an end cap to Batman Beyond, like they did a great job doing it. It wasn't
so Haley, think Lords of the Rings and then The Hobbit, how they kind of like tie together.
I love it.
See, there's a Haley analogy for you. That is
Absolutely.
It was very clever. The Justice League is a really good one. My kids watched that one. There you go. Yeah. Justice League Unlimited was the best. I agree. My kids were super huge fans. And what I like about these shows is they're not just for boys. They're not just for girls. Like you could literally find a character in any of these that you identify with.
And even as an adult, when you go back to rewatch it, there's things that as a kid maybe you didn't pick up on. And as an adult, you're like,
oh, for
wow,
sure.
okay, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely want to rewatch Justice League to see.
before the 28th. These are the two web series. You can find them in various places, but Lobo is very adult. Now, they're not the same kind of quality as the cartoons, but Lobo's very adult. I wouldn't show it to your little kid. And then Gotham Girls did spur comic books. We didn't include them in this one, but we figured we would just share the web series because it's in part of that continuity.
Lucy, didn't you have a bunch of covers that you liked for Gotham Girls?
Yeah, I do. I do have a lot. And I think I have some. I might have some. Oh, no, I don't. I don't remember. I have to look. I think I have some covers, but that I have found for cheap. But I'll definitely, I do want more of these because I like them.
Gotham Girls looks cool.
I've been looking for the Catwoman one, the one where she's just like, oh, I know, it's, yeah. It's gorgeous. I love it.
Lucy's wheel is finished. So before we move on with the show, we're going to do the giveaway. So again, if you guys are watching right now, after the show is over, if you leave a comment, that's all you have to do to qualify for this week's giveaway. Last week's was the Amazing Spider-Man 365, donated by our sponsors.
I think we should say, ask them a question at the end of the show or like in the middle, never know. So that way they can watch all the way through. Because they can just come in and say something, but we have to ask a question, they have to answer. So Jen,
okay, if you guys think of something good, put it in the private chat and we'll ask it.
Yeah, and then we can ask them. So it could be in the middle of the show or at the end, they have to answer that question. So,
real quick, Lord of Brooklyn, we'll probably do an Elseworlds episode eventually, and then Chad Cave, it's for adults. If you're reading, sorry, if you're not reading the comments, sorry.
Yeah.
It's adults only.
Yeah.
All right, Lucy, you're up.
So let me see. Share my screen. There's a lot of people this time, which that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, because that's a great book. I can't believe
yes.
Yeah,
yeah, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
If you win, make sure you direct message Bird City Comics on Instagram, and you have until the end of the week to do that, or we'll run it next Tuesday.
Nimesh!
Perfect. I was going to send it anyway, so that's perfect.
I'm so
Congratulations, Nimesh.
Yay!
Ooh, we do a round of applause.
I like that. That can be a new thing.
I like that. I like that.
See, Haley, that's not that bad, right?
That's
We're
not that bad. No, I'm here
animal
for that. I'm
noises
here for it.
That's funny.
All right, next up, what do we have here, Jen?
Okay, so there's 12 video games in this time span that we're covering currently. This is just 2, but this is just to show you. Remember Game Boy? I remember Game Boy.
Yeah.
Just by itself, the individual Batman animated series game versus having it in the box looking pretty nice. And then Superman, I remember buying it and having a real hard time / disliking it, but in the box versus just a cartridge for 64. Did you guys ever do that? 64 Game Boy?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a game? Is this the game with the rings? Oh no,
yes. Yeah. Where he's flying, you have to get through the.
Yes, I've seen it on multiple worst games top 10 lists. So I've never played it, but I've heard about this mysterious just flying through rings. So
is the flying through rings Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Okay. Yeah.
I figured because Superman's the one who flies, Caitlin.
I had for Game Boy. I had the Pokemon. I had the Pokemon Pikachu Game Boy.
Yes, Caitlin. Yes, chat.
The chat's so happy for Nimesh. I love that.
I know. I love it. I was really happy for him. I like it. Look at Karen. It just, yeah.
Super deserving winner. All right, now let's kick off the comics of the show. Guys, if you are just joining, we are covering the DC animated universe. We just gave you some background information about the shows and the games, and this is only one part of probably 3 or 4 that we're going to be doing for this.
Yeah, so real quick.
Yeah.
Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. Paul Dini, I feel is the unsung hero. He's a writer. To me, he's an amazing writer. And then Bruce Timm.
All the writers are unsung heroes nowadays.
right, created this universe. So we have Batman Adventures #1 from 1992 on the left, and on the right is Batman Adventures #12 from 1993, but it's the first appearance in comics. I know there's a whole, we haven't done Harley Quinn yet, have we, for a character show?
Seriously, we haven't?
I thought we did.
We should do another one just because there's some Harley Quinns that I really love, even
Okay.
though I'm not
I
like
think
a huge.
we have done it. We really have to look through because I'm pretty sure we've done it before.
Brit is going like this.
No? Okay,
Wow,
then
we've
I
never done
trust
Harley
Brit.
Quinn.
We should totally. I love Harley.
Well, Lady Gaga is going to be playing Harley Quinn in the new Joker movie. So
Harleen Quinzel.
Is she? Or is she just Harley?
Well, there's like her, kind of when people are like Alexandra and they go by Alex, right? Harleen Quinzel. But this is just the first series that takes it off, and
this is iconic. These covers are iconic. If you guys have these, I don't care what the condition is. If you find them out in the wild somehow, you grab them because these are this is good stuff.
Yeah.
And also, that Jen has talked about Paul Dini. I kind of wanted to give some big ups to this guy because, again, we've talked about some phenomenal writers. Paul Dini, if you've not known this guy, he has won 2 Emmys, 7 Eisners, and a Harvey. He has written for Fat Albert, Dungeons and Dragons, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Ewoks, Transformers, Gem, Smurfs, Tiny Town Adventures, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and the last thing he did was Creep Show. So, I mean, this man is a powerhouse writer. You will hear the words Bruce Timm and Paul Dini. I know there's another writer involved in a lot of these comics. So they've had their hands in both a lot of these series and also in the comics as well.
Very cool. I did not know any of that. That's incredible. Haley, you want to cover the stats here?
Yeah, well, what's surprising is just like there's such a large gap for the raw Batman Adventures versus the slabbed. Like there is such a large gap, which honestly makes me kind of like, now I want one. I want to get one raw. And I will say I've gone to a bunch of Comic Cons. I've seen the Batgirl, like issue 12 or the Batman issue 12, slabbed like a bunch of places, and I'm always like, I really want it because I love this cover. I love Batgirl so much. And you can see just like last recorded sale for like a 9.6 is like over $1,000. Not surprising at all. Because I think people really love all of these characters. And people really love Harley Quinn. So that makes sense. It's a well-deserved kind of like higher priced comic, but I want to find like a really beat up version so that I could find it for way less.
Grades are so hard to come by. So I would take
anything. I know, like this is so. Yeah, I mean, I want that Batgirl too. I really want it, but
it's so just, pretty.
Yeah, and it's just so, like, obviously, I'm not gonna spend that much money. Like, it's way out of my price range. Like, but I love that cover. Like, I just love the way I love Poison Ivy. I love the way she looks, and then it's just. Yeah, that one. And then obviously Batman Adventures is just such a classic. And yeah, and for $11, if you can find that raw for that cheap, like you said, Laura, like, it doesn't matter how, how it looks, I just want it. But yeah.
What is it, Jen?
There's a lot of different reprints of both, right? There's oodles. When we do a Harley Quinn, we'll probably talk about that. If we ever do a Focus Batman or Batman animated,
I need to find myself a reprint then, because I'd take a reprint. I love that cover so much. I would totally take a reprint.
You see, I have for Batgirl. I have that. What is it called? The facsimile.
The doll.
Yeah, I have it, but I want the original one.
Of course.
And then for a long time, you can get Batman at #1. You could get it for between $1 and $5 for a really, really long time. Now, I will say this. Antique stores, if they don't have the internet, flea markets, you always have the digger's hope. If you ever see Batman Adventures, just go through all of them, and you might get either of these for a way better price than what you're seeing here. So,
Jen, have you ever seen The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
You know Sheldon when he's at the comic book store and he's like, got it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of you. Like, he goes through every single one in his little hands and he's like, got it. I was watching it the other day. You could find it.
I know. I watched it a couple months ago, and yes, I was like, "That's Jen."
That's a good show. Jen, you're up.
So I remember seeing this movie, Mask of the Phantasm. Haley, I would say start with a couple episodes from animated series, and then once you feel like you have a good amount, either, Mr. Freeze or Clayface and a couple other ones, this is the next one that you'll watch, and it's so good. I will not ruin, and no one in chat ruin it because she hasn't seen it yet. The reveal they have from Mask of the Phantasm, and they actually just recently in Batman and Catwoman brought this character back and made it into the actual continuity of the DC. Yeah, good character. It's cool. It's good watching. As a kid, I had the little booklet that came with the DVD. VHS.
VHS. So Haley, that was like this little box.
I had VHSs. All right, I'm not that young. All right.
Sure, I just want to clarify. I don't want to confuse or anything.
But there's a little version of what you're seeing on the left, that dark red cover. There's a little version that's VHS size, and then there's a comic book version. And then on the right-hand side, just another alternative comic book size cover for this great series that talks about the Phantasm.
Good stuff.
It's all good stuff. Going back to the Batman animated series, I think we forgot to mention too that without that series, we wouldn't have Harley Quinn. So that's how important. You got to watch that episode, Haley. And Clayface, that's one of my favorite episodes. But I also wanted to bring up Mask of the Phantasm. What's interesting is this plot is heavily based on Batman Year 2 back in 97, and also based on Citizen Kane. So I thought, and also in 96 they released DC collectibles of so if you guys are into toys, they brought out these collectibles that had both Batman and the Phantasm. So if you guys are into collecting, hunt for those as well.
See, that's what I'm scared about, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really excited about this show, and having learned about this because of all of the videos Jen was sending, because I actually really adored the animation of all of the covers and the show. Anytime I've seen it, I'm I really like the style of it. I just know there will be the rabbit hole. I will watch it, I will probably love it, and then all of a sudden I'll be I need everything, and I haven't done that in a while. So
they get so dark. Some of these episodes or in some of these movies, there's certain scenes that are holy hell, how is this? You don't.
That makes me so excited. That makes me just know I'll like it even more, because if it goes deep and it has this darker edge to it, I'm really excited. And I mean, just look at these covers. Everything that I feel on every slide, they're just absolutely gorgeous. I love that kind of older vintage style that you see with the red cover. And it definitely shows a 9/8 being around $375. I get it. That's gorgeous. Though the fact, again, the discrepancy in terms of getting a near mint raw for $10, all day long, I would purchase it for $10. And same with the variant cover. They're just so good. I feel if you can find these in the back issue bins or go to a flea market like Jen's saying and pick these up, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love these. I love this cover, the red one. You could tell the animation of the girl. Is it hard? I mean,
no, it's
Poison.
Andrea.
Oh, okay. The way she looks, it's just so sexy, so pretty. It kind of back in the day, the way they looked. And but I was just talking about, you guys are saying how good these they are, because still all the animated movies are so good. I don't understand how they cannot it doesn't translate to their other live action movies.
Tiva was just saying that, Lucy, the same thing, that the live action can never match the animated.
But that's what James Gunn in these
trying to do, right?
They're gonna take inspiration from it.
Yeah, so I was just saying one of my favorite ones is the man on the Red Hood. the man under the red. Is it that one? Like how again? Like it's a little flashpoint. Like it's just so many great. Like there's so many good ones that I have like recent too that they're so good.
We'll cover like the Red Hood stuff and other stuff like in the future. But yeah, the animated stuff is by far the best DC, right? It blows Marvel. Like I think earlier Nimesh said, like if only DC could do this for live action, they give Marvel a run for their money. Like the writing.
We got to do a round of applause for one of our team members gave us a super chat.
Let's see.
Thank you, Joe.
Red Hood.
Thanks, Joe. I have a question, Jen, for you. Do you feel like the comics like really are aligned with like the animated show? Like that, I feel like obviously the animated series is like top tier. Do you feel like the comics?
I would say some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them that we'll talk about tonight are, and then some of them aren't. But I think we'll point out the ones for sure that reading wise, you're like, yes, read this if you have a chance.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, what you saying, Jen? Like, had you had them in order? Like, oh, sorry.
What?
Trish,
happy birthday!
Trish. Sorry, I was in the middle of my sentence. Happy birthday, Trish. Everybody say happy birthday, Trish. Let's sing happy birthday real quick. Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Trish.
Happy birthday to you.
Terrible.
We
were all on different lines.
We're all out of sync.
That was horrible. That couldn't have been worse, Haley. Like one of us, I think we were trying to do a round, right?
Sorry, Trish. Love you.
Sorry, Trish. Happy birthday.
Before I interrupted myself, you were saying that the way you organized these slides, how were they? They were like based on how like I was gonna say that earlier and I completely forgot. But
yeah. So the first one was the animated series, the TV show. This is 93. Yeah, I think it's 93, right? Yeah, 93 was Phantasm, and then the next one that comes out is.
So you kind of have them in order, but like in years and how it came out, right?
Yeah, we on your Nirvana / CBW Comic Book Women, we try very hard to keep it in order of how it comes out.
You do great.
Okay.
What do we have here?
Yes. So this is Superman, the animated series, came out. The TV series came out in 96. The comics came out in 96 also. Number 1 on the left, which again, for a long time was $1. And then on the right is number 5. This, like Sarah said earlier, there's Harley Quinn. There's actually a ton of characters from this 14-year span that started first in the cartoon that came into the comics later. Livewire is one of them. So this Livewire on the right-hand side is her first appearance. Now, granted, there is other Livewire comics. There's an in continuity for the DC universe that comes out later, but this is her first, not continuity, but in comics first.
Jen, you're doing great. This is like obvious. This is something that's so passionate to you, and you're killing it. You're doing great.
So I have some information on the kind of like on the series. What was interesting, what I found out was they actually kind of cut Superman's strength. Like he wasn't, he had troubles lifting like trucks, and like bullets, like durability wise, like bullets would hit him, but like missiles would hurt him. And also he needs like special equipment to like go like diving and like go out to space, which we're not used to seeing. Usually we're like, he's the Man of Steel, right? So there was some kind of inconsistencies with that in the series. So and Livewire was a shock jock who kind of talked about Superman badly. It was interesting because I guess like she got her powers through Superman.
Well, wasn't she voiced by the girl who does Tank Girl?
She is. She's voiced by Lori Petty, who was Tank Girl. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's just I think what's interesting here in terms of like the stats, it's not really surprising to me that for Superman we're seeing just like a lower like point of sale, especially for like the 9.8 slab for Superman Adventures. And then I find it interesting that at least like on the comic on the right, you have like the extra character. I think that people are more enticed toward. And you also see a little bit less of a gap between like a raw copy and a slab, whereas with the other Batman comics, you're seeing like such a large. So it makes it a little bit more affordable or like easy to maybe get them raw versus this one. It's like you're still kind of spending a good amount for the Superman Adventures issue 5, whether you buy it raw or slabbed. So I feel like you have to really like that character.
Yeah.
I really like the covers. Like it's always for me the covers that they get me, and this one, like, I just want to own this because she looks badass. Like, I guess I'm very drawn, like, to like, powerful, even if they're, like, evil or whatever, like, those awesome girls, like, with superpowers, and she just looks like she can kick ass, and, like, I just want it. And I get, and that animated look, I like that. It looks
Lucy's
cool.
sold. Yeah, I have not seen Superman Adventures. It's one of the few animated series that I have not watched, and I need to because I think Lex Luthor is like, he's so good. Lex Luthor, he's one of my favorite villains. He's so smart, and he already had it all anyway. Like he controlled the world before Superman came in, so it's like, and he's just kind of brilliant. I kind of want to watch that and girl crush on the villain. Is it? I don't know. Him and Thanos. Loki, I always see their point of view. Not sure what that says about me, but
and I always thought
I'm the same way.
They did Superman more from like when he first came about. Superman, he could leap tall buildings single bound. He couldn't fly. He could leap. He was fast in locomotive, but he wasn't faster than the Flash. Well, Flash wasn't. Oh, you know what I mean? Like all of his powers were amazing, but they weren't what we know of today. So when I watched the series, I just assumed that they were going off of the original. When we find out that they kind of depowered a lot of like Martian Manhunter, they depowered him to like make it more relatable and to make the team of Justice League needed. Because if you have Martian Manhunter at his peak and Superman at his peak, you don't really need Justice League as much. So when I was reading those things and hearing those things, I was like, oh, interesting, because I always just assumed it was Superman from the original iteration. But
interesting. Good stuff. Fun fact that Copy 801 put in here. The voice of Flash played Lex in Smallville.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a really good podcast. If you guys get a chance, that they're recapping Smallville.
Oh my God. I am watching. I freaking love Smallville. I love Smallville. I had the biggest crush on the guy who played Superman or Clark Kent. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like early childhood crush. Like absolutely.
So Michael Rosenbaum, who's Lex Luthor, has his own podcast about like mental health, and then he'll like interview people and actors about like their experience and their like what's going on.
Gosh.
And then they do their own separate where they just finished reviewing season 1, and they're going to go and review all of the seasons, and they're giving their take, like when they were filming, what were they doing, what was going on behind the scenes. Like it's a good list.
You know who does that also is the women from Charmed. Like Charmed has been doing that. Candace was telling me, and I think that's like becoming a little bit of a trend.
I was just gonna say that I think the girls, the office ladies, it started all this because the girls from Pam and Angela, they started it. They started like 2-3 years ago, I think. Like so they started a whole thing like talking about going from each episode, each season, and having like some like the producers, the cast members and stuff like that, like writers and everything, to chime in a little bit. So after that, like Scrubs has one, a bunch of shows now.
I just added like 3 podcasts to my listening list, and now I'm gonna go rewatch Smallville, and I'm gonna watch Batman animated, and it's gonna be fantastic. Oh my gosh!
Yes,
and also, After Last Airbender is doing it. Also, they have the voice actors talking about it, and then if you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
So, they also they're doing it too. There's so many that now they're doing it. I wanted that from the shows that I like. Okay, sorry, we're getting
Sorry.
Super
very
sidetracked.
sidetracked.
yeah.
Okay. That's part of the gig. Haley's boyfriend's in the background, like ordering a Superman cape right now.
Absolutely.
Amazon.
I'm just kidding.
Next up.
No, Haley's the one who ordered it. Haley's on the background, like, oh,
Like starts rewatching Smallville. Hey babe, I have an idea.
God.
So
Sorry, Jen.
Stop it,
you know, it's okay.
Christina.
It's look, if you guys, especially right now when there aren't tons of new things coming out, this is the time that you take to rewatch animated series or
Absolutely.
DC Unlimited or any of those things. But so on the left-hand side, we have Superman Adventures 21. I know it's a Supergirl, but it will be categorized if you're digging in back issue bins. If they know what they're doing, it should be in Superman Adventures 21. They might misput it in Supergirl, but and that's the first appearance you see of Supergirl in that continuity. And then on the right-hand side is Superman Adventures 41. And that one we put, it's a reading recommendation. Mark Millar ended up doing a short in it. It's good. Now, I wouldn't go on eBay per se, but like back issue bins for sure. Just keep an eye open when you see these, because I think a lot of people see DC and they kind of dismiss it, especially like kid comics, but don't.
Not lately. Everybody's snagging these up. I went to my LCS the other day and they're like, we're selling DC like crazy.
Man, I'm
Because
about to
everybody's
go
anticipating
do that.
It sucks that here I don't have no like good stores to
Come to
find
Chicago.
these things. Like, I seriously, like, Chris at Cousins Loves, he always posts like the stuff that he finds, and I always message him like, I hate you. I really hate you. Yeah, because he has so many stores around him and he finds them for super cheap. So if I need something, I message him because I know he will find it for like a freaking $1. He's the one who will find it for $1. But not here. Sucks. Okay.
Move to Arizona. There'll be one out here. All right. So, Sarah, you're up.
Yeah, I love this Supergirl cover. I love that they changed her outfit because, like, the 80s Supergirl, like, ugh. But what I found out is that in this issue of Supergirl, she is invulnerable to kryptonite, which again is kind of not consistent with, you know, in the animated series, she is vulnerable to kryptonite. And also in the animated series, Supergirl appears in an episode called Little Lost Girl. So if you're jonesing for some Supergirl goodness, you can check it out in Superman Adventures.
I really am excited about the Supergirl Adventures. Just because I read the Tom King's Superwoman or is it Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow series, like miniseries, and it made me like really love that character. And so I would love to own this. But the 9.8 is like a 304. But honestly, for a near mint copy, $48 isn't like, I think if you really are loving the character, it's really not that bad, especially for a near mint.
If you can find it.
If you could find it, right? Of course. I feel like this would probably be like an eBay purchase, most likely. Maybe not. Jen is like,
for a near mint, Jen, you might have to.
So every now and then you might get lucky but unlucky when you get to those comics that have been bagged and boarded, but they haven't been moved in years and they kind of stick together. I recommend pulling them out as a big chunk and then going through them side by side. Like, don't go like this, like from the top, go from the side so you don't bend the spine. You might get lucky.
interesting.
Maybe.
Where?
I know. Only in Chicago. It's not here.
Wait, even where in Chicago are you talking about?
I know.
I
It's
feel
not
like
here.
I need to go hunting
Jen's
with
like,
you
I
and
love
Sarah.
it.
You
Yeah,
and Sarah, I want to go hunting with this year. That is a 2023 goal of mine, is to go comic book hunting with you guys. Pretty please.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Oh,
Kelly,
kids
you were
section.
saying-
That's right. Sorry, kids
Section.
section.
And then the one on the right, the Superman Adventures, again, not surprising. We're not really seeing this one like really, like just out of any of the Superman ones, so I feel like the ones that are more expensive and like have a higher price are the ones that have like other characters featured on the cover. So we're seeing that a 9.4 for $55 or a very fine for $24. So, you know, not really anything crazy.
Lucy?
Was it was this there's a show of Supergirl? I'm confusing what's the show?
The
Superman
WB one?
Adventures.
Right?
Mhm.
I kind of remember seeing a little bit of this, and it was canceled, right? Like right away.
So Superman animated series went for 3 seasons. It's a little
Sorry, no,
over.
a live action. Sorry, a
Yeah.
live action one, right?
Well,
And it was canceled.
there's Smallville, and then there's Lois and Clark vs. Superman from the 90s with Dean Cain. And we do see in Smallville, we see a Supergirl, but we don't see. I don't think we see Supergirl with Dean Cain. With
I don't remember.
the
Like, I'm not
Lois and
sure.
Clark with
No.
Terry Hatcher.
We got to keep moving. We got
Yeah,
56
yes.
people in the house. We're about halfway done. So stick with us. We got a lot more coming up, and we have another giveaway. So stay with us here. Jen, what's up next?
Okay, so we're really trying to, with these slides, do parallels between the seasons and the movies and the comics. So when Batman animated series goes into Batman and Robin / Universe of Batman Adventures, that's at the left-hand side. It's Batman and Robin Adventures from 95. And then on the right-hand side, it's Batman and Gotham Adventures from 98. So
Ooh,
it's just to kind of show there's a lot of Batman in this 14 years of DCAU, DCAMU. But yeah, these are the number ones.
DCAU. Wait, what's the M for?
So when you do the DCAMU, it's the animated movies universe.
Oh, okay.
Which we'll do probably more of in part 4, because that's when you really start seeing like Red Hood and like Damian Wayne and all that other stuff.
Oh, Damian Wayne's Adam's favorite. Okay. Sarah, you're up.
Well, the what's cool about Batman Gotham Adventures, so this another is a Paul Dini, Bruce Timm creation, and this series actually takes place 2 years after Batman the Animated Series. So kind of a, like Jen is saying, is that these are really cool books that are kind of like in continuity with the animation that you see.
I love these so much. I really, 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 really love both of the covers, especially the one on the right with Batgirl. I just really have an affinity for Batgirl, I have to say. And it's so encouraging, again, to see these raw. It's very fine. You're mint $13 to $20. I have to say I'm probably going to get off like this and just like start scouring the internet or like immediately book some comic digging time in some stores this weekend. I think that is in the cards for me. And even the slabs are just so affordable in terms when you think of like how much a slab is typically costing you. The Batman Adventures on the left for $9.8, $151, and then the one on the right, $92, like not even $100, and you get a whole cast of characters on the cover, which is just so fun. And I love all of the villains in the background as well. Like that's just such I feel like a kind of iconic cover.
Yeah, I yes, exactly what you just said. Leave those covers, both of them. I love both of them. I would love that. Wanted the Joker, like Two-Face, like you can see a little bit of Harley Quinn in the back. And yeah, Gotham, Batman Gotham Adventures. I mean, both of them are number ones. That's pretty good for, and like you said, for those prices, you can't, pass. Like if you see them, like you can't. I will probably pay the $20 for that one.
Sure.
I love both of the covers.
Yeah,
They're
like
evergreen.
we show you these, so when you go to comic book store and you see if it's less, you're like, sweet. If it's more, you're like, right?
Or make a deal, like, hey, ask, how much will you take on this? You never know. Oh, another fun fact. Awesome.
Give
I
it
like
to
these.
us.
Yeah.
Sarah, your spirit animals in the chat.
Woohoo!
I need that competition, Sarah.
Let's hear it, Copy 801. Oh, there's a
Yeah.
Batgirl Adventures cover similar to the Supergirl. Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
It's in the other room.
So
I
Number
want
one.
one.
Cool.
I want one.
I
So
know.
we couldn't
Yeah.
cover again all of
Doing-
the comics.
We did a Batgirl
I figured when we do Batgirl,
Let me see,
we would
hold
include
on,
it.
I want it.
Yeah.
Can we do a big
Okay.
screen of
Let
you?
me see.
Big screen.
I
Oh.
love that.
Oh my god, I want
I
it.
want it. I need
Yeah.
it. I need it.
So
So
you
this
said
is
I'm
like-
your best friend, right?
So my sister,
This is like iconic stuff. You guys don't own one of these?
so my
No.
sister, we were digging
No,
at
I
an
want
antique
it.
market. No, wait, a flea market. You're digging, and she pushed me over, and so I got pushed over from the box. I wasn't done yet. I got pushed over.
Oh,
She kept going, and she came across that book, and I was like, "Oh, can I have it?" She's like, "No." And then she told the vendor, "She's trying to take this book from me." I'm like, "What? I'm just saying I would like to purchase
Oh
it.
my
You don't want
gosh.
it." And she's like, "Well, I want it." So my sister has that.
I
Amazing.
absolutely,
Nice.
absolutely.
I
need
want
one.
it.
Does it
Hey,
go for a lot of
Anthony.
money?
Who's holding it right
How
now,
much?
buddy?
How much is? Ooh, fighting
Who's
words.
holding it, Mr. Bird City? I think
Okay,
Mrs.
Go in there and then
So
tell
we'll
her
do-
to send it to me.
We'll do a Batgirl episode
Yes,
eventually.
please.
So I
Well-
figured we wouldn't cover that comic yet. But
I
when
would
we do
love to
Batgirl-
do a Batgirl episode. That would be
Well,
so
we
fun.
would
I
have
want to
to
do like
come.
Harley and Batgirl.
And
Absolutely.
Catwoman. Have
Ugh.
you done a Catwoman?
We will.
Oh,
We will.
Can we
Yeah.
Catwoman's my heart.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like we will. Hold on. We
We got the whole year ahead of us, girls. We got
Jen,
the
you
whole
just got us
year.
all so stoked on like the
Yeah.
animated DC universe. You were like, let's do this. And now I'm like, I need everything.
All right,
Jen,
Dan.
I
shots
know,
fired.
Jen.
It is in a top loader too, Liger. Good eye there.
Yes.
All right,
What
let's keep
else?
moving. We're here all night. Go ahead.
So
Ah,
I figured,
Oh my God.
even though we
I want
weren't
it.
doing Batgirl, technically this is Batman and Robin Adventures 21 from 97. It's still in that line. This is her Batgirl cover. And on the right-hand side, it's the Gotham Adventures number 45 from 2001. But it's a lot of the villains holding up the different cards to Gotham Adventures. So, yeah, figured it's always good. Again, I feel like a lot of people will go for number 1s and 2s and then skip the rest of the series. It's always worth you keep going, and if you see this question mark for like $2, oh man. And then to see the Gotham Adventures 45. Again, because it's later in the series, sometimes people just go 1 and then they kind of, oh, okay, whatever, and they'll like move on. So don't keep digging, keep looking. You never know.
Laura, you need to stop showing that comic. I want it
I
so
know.
bad.
And I'm posting it on Instagram, so Anthony can't do anything about it.
You're like it's officially
I'm the
mine.
official. Okay, sorry.
I love this Batman Adventures number 21. I love that Batgirl is holding the Riddler's question mark. It just is a great cover. The Gotham Adventures number 45, I actually looked up what the story or the kind of like promo for it is Arkham is in full lockdown and one of its doctors is missing and Batman needs to find which inmate is in charge. So I love that all the villains are on the front holding, each little letter. So very cool.
We all know probably already how I feel about the cover on the left, Batgirl and the Riddler question mark. I love this. For a 9.8 again, like $113. These are not bad, like for the slabs. Like I feel like this is going to be so fun to go down the rabbit hole. Though my wallet would probably say otherwise. And a very fine going for $32. So this one's a little bit on that like higher end that we've seen for some of the Raws. And the one on the right, I feel like you have all of the iconic villains. And with like Harley and Joker in the center, and it's such a fun cover. And for a near mint for $27, like I probably would snag it at that price. And a 9.6 for $60. Like I know that we've talked about the difference between the 9.6s and the 9.8s, but man, I'd grab that up right away. Like especially if you're really into all of these characters in the animated series, and like it's hitting all of those nostalgia check marks. Like that's such a good grab.
Yeah. oh my god, all this, what's his name, Ty, right? Covers, like I just like there's so, I love the way he draws the woman. Like I said, like the animated, even though like her foot, it's so weird looking, like
Oh, you mean Ty
I just
Templeton?
Ty, yeah, Ty. I just, I want him. I love the way he draws the woman. And the one on the, I like how the one on the right, like Harley and Joker, they're like, it looked like they're about to kiss or they're arguing. I don't know. And Ivy, the way she's giving him like the little side eye, I like it. I like this. I
I
want it.
can't believe that in that Gotham one that we're getting Firefly, which is a weird, obscure villain, and then the Creeper, which I wouldn't consider a villain. I could consider him a hero.
Oh,
Maybe we'll do a Creeper.
yeah.
I think I just like prompted Maya Nance divorce. I went on Instagram and posted it, and I'm like, it's mine. So it's done now. You can't undo the internet, right? This is done. This has been seen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anthony. Sorry. All right, moving on. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think Ant has this. I'll have to find it in one of his boxes.
So
Go
Haley,
ahead.
if you get a chance to read something, Batman Adventures Holiday Special,
So good.
1984.
Mm-hmm.
I would try to watch the Mr. Freeze episodes on Batman Adventures, but it redoes his character to the point of, I think I showed Britt Mr. Freeze and Clayface. And it's powerful. You're like, it starts to humanize them and give them more of a motivation. That it's not necessarily evil. It's, well, Mr. Freeze not so much. Clayface, that's anyway. So this Mr. Freeze is a really good. It's
really
recommended
good
reading.
I am excited. Yes, just yes.
And then,
you know how I told you I always feel bad for the bad guys? This is a good example.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, that's how I feel about, like Magneto is one of my favorite characters
Yeah.
for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Like I'm really here for like the like morally gray, just like really good backstory, makes you question,
Yep.
Like
Yeah, he's one of my favorite, like also like that story, so he's one of my favorite stories. Like you said, like it makes you feel for him, like why is he like this and why, like it makes you kind of like not like Batman. I don't know, that's how I felt.
and then this is actually where they introduced Nora Freeze. That wasn't a character that existed before. They gave him this new wife. Now, granted, since then, different stories will change it into like Assassination was only his wife, but I like the animated series where it's Nora Freeze, right? So the story for Holiday Special, I think, won a couple of awards, and then the movie that's a part of it is the Sub-Zero. I will say that there is what is that popcorn? Act 2 popcorn. There's a weird, obscure Act 2 popcorn that's of the Sub-Zero that they put out that is worth, I think if you can find it in good grades, it's like $225. So it looks like that Sub-Zero, but it has Act 2 popcorn in like the left-hand corner.
Does it come with popcorn, or is it just like...
Sarah's like, I want the popcorn. Is that included in this whole thing? Sarah, quick question.
Yes.
I think it's coincidence. This is a black and white cover, but only the eyes are red. And what are the eyes?
The windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was very clever artwork to do it that way.
This is like Jen said, this is a phenomenal story. Also Clayface, that was one of my favorites. Like I can still remember like the scene where, it's still like, I mean, I remember it, like watching it as a kid. Unfortunately though, like Victor Freeze, like, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of ruined it, but yeah, you can watch all these things on HBO Max. I want to reiterate that. So go show some love, go to your, streaming service, watch some good Batman stuff.
So for these, like, I think the fact that, like, Jen, what you were saying, that it's just like such an amazing story and it kind of only rewrites this character. We see like the slab like for $258 and an endearment for 42. So we're seeing it on the higher end, which I think just speaks to the importance of the story and, you know, just how beloved it is. I think probably for that reason. And then again, the difference between the raw and a slab, $6 for endearment for the one on the right for Sub-Zero. Really quickly, I wanted to show you guys a picture because in the last slide we had like the Riddler question mark. About 2 years or more than 2 years ago, in 2019, my dad really loves the Batman animated series and stuff like that, and he also was the Riddler for.
That's so awesome.
He like spray painted his hair pink and everything. So,
oh my gosh, that's committed to the.
I don't know that you can like see it as like clearly.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. So I just had to like it brought that up, and I was like, I need to find that photo. So he really likes Batman and all of that.
Aww.
So that was the Jim Carrey version of the Riddler, yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hold
I
on,
like
guys,
Jim
really
Carrey.
quickly. Yes, Anthony.
Just I'm sorry,
Hi.
just real quick. I love how she digs through my comics and claims them at hers. Okay. and I would like to present the court evidence of her own show.
Wait, hold on.
Okay. I think Ant has this. I'll have to find it in one of his boxes.
I think Ant has
No.
this. I have to find it in one of your boxes.
But it's
In
that was
oh, I'm not done.
was
If
the
it
holiday
pleases the
special.
court. If it pleases the court.
Oh.
We're in Ant's office and you're finding things. I've got you on video. Keep it up.
Wow, I just put you on blast.
Damn, you can just walk into my office like that? Jeez. Unbelievable.
That's hilarious.
Unacceptable. Girls, what do we have next?
So this is a shout out to the foreign guys. This is at least 4 comics that range from ones we have yet to cover and ones we will cover that are foreign. They range from German to Spanish to a couple other ones that I can't remember currently. But it's just a wide variety. I'm still in that realm of I don't see it at my LCS or any of the LCSs in Chicagoland. I feel like a lot of these foreigns are goals to when you travel over there. And when you do travel these countries, just know that there's not LCSs. Usually it's an antique market or a bookstore that you want to head to. Do you want to search comic shops? Yes. But you probably find it in other places. But it's Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
The first appearance of Harley Quinn, the animated series, but they do a weird hodgepodge of Superman animated series and like with Justice League and then also Batman and then Mask of Phantasm.
I think the foreign stuff is fascinating. I'm so glad you're including this.
Mhm.
Josh, if you're out there watching, we need to get his take on this. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, I love these. Again, I love that Jen's including them. And also, I want to know in Batman and Superman Adventures, why does Aquaman look like a hippie?
Oh, so in that realm of the 90s/2000s, he has longer hair, he loses his arm. Actually, in the Justice League, oh shoot, which one is it? There's a Justice League cartoon where they find Atlanteans and he's trying to get away from, like he's chained up and he has to cut off his arm to get out of the chains.
Oh,
and
we talked about that. We talked about that last weekend, I think, on that covers. I think we mentioned it. I can't remember, but we did mention
with the hook.
Yeah.
And then the long hair, and he's more like rugged, and he's not as clean shaven as we've known him in the past.
Oh, I mentioned it because it was one of my little fun facts taken from, I got to be a little bit of Sarah in my little research. I was like, it's the same writer of, yeah.
Good stuff. Let's keep going. What do we have next?
So this is Batman Beyond from 1991. This is the miniseries on the left, which, again, I think we will do a Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond episode in the future. So we only included these 2 covers currently for this episode. But then on the right-hand side is number 1 from like the normal continuity. This is all 1999. So I'm in 9th grade. What do you guys, 1999?
What?
So
That's not fair. I was like a sophomore in college.
No way.
Mhm.
99. I was 12th.
Oh my god.
I was 4.
She wins. Okay, she's gone again, guys.
Yeah, take her off. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, we're good. Continuing with the show now.
I was drinking beers. Haley was drinking a bottle.
A different kind of bottle.
Hey, jokes on her though, because the 90s were awesome. The
I-
80s were so
absolutely.
awesome.
We
There wasn't a better time to be alive, right?
We did this past weekend. My best friend turned 30, and so we went to a roller rink. She went to a roller rink and was like everyone dressed in like their best like 90s outfit. And she has sisters who are just like are younger than us, and like they rolled up and they were like, we watched so many videos on like how to dress, and we had no idea what like dressing in the 90s. I was like, these are the best outfits though. Like I didn't get to appreciate them as
That
much.
generation just copies us. They're like, oh, let's bring back these things where it's called boot cut. It's like we've already done that. We've already done high-rise jeans.
Yes.
All been
You know,
done.
my mom used to get so mad that I would wear like the under the belly button jeans because
Right.
she will.
Right.
There was a Mexican thing. She's like, you're gonna get those love handles. Like you have to wear your pants up here. Not
I
there."
can't do low-rise
he
jeans.
was right.
Those I don't need brought back. Like not even a little bit. They do not need to be brought back. Like
But you gotta wear the low-rise jeans with the thongs.
Oh my god.
Showing your wheel
No,
Yeah.
that can stay in the 90s. No.
I think my favorite that they're bringing back is what is it? The hair clips that like people are putting in. Like
I used to love those.
I
Oh my
have
gosh.
some. I was like wearing them this past weekend. Look cute.
And Doc Martens are making a comeback too.
I
wore
love
Docs
Docs.
all
Those
the
are cool, Doc
time when I was
Martens.
in high school.
That's yeah.
They last forever. Those shoes, you buy one pair of them, they'll last you like the rest of your life.
Yes.
Anyway, Haley.
Okay, so for Batman Beyond, I think so the one on the left we're seeing is like the highest price that we've seen so far besides the, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Batgirl cover issue. So 9.8 is going for like $1,600. Their last recorded sale was for even $1,850. So definitely the higher price, but again, just like that huge drastic, like a near mint raw, like $200. So I feel like if you can get like a really good grade or a really good copy, like near mint, and then you could just like send it in, you're gonna get so much on that. And the one on the right, also higher price as well. You're seeing a 9.8 for $389 or $98. But the very fine $40. I mean, again, these are the raw copies I feel like are so doable for a collector if you can find them either in back issue bins or maybe you get like a really good deal online. I feel like this is such a fun episode because I'm like, it's just what you could buy everything. You can get it all. None of it is really out of like reach besides like 2 comics. All of your dreams could come true, guys.
Exactly. We're done. Show over. Everybody just buy everything we say. Go ahead, Lucy. Oh, Jen. Yes.
Let's say copy 801, the Shui. I definitely recommend if you watch the Batman animated series from the 90s to watch Batman Beyond of 1999. Terry McGinnis is voiced by the guy who was in Boy Meets World. He was the older brother of Corey. It's so good. I can't even articulate how good he is as a voice actor, but Terry McGinnis, I feel like a lot of people want this as a movie or to make it a continuation. I think they did a short a couple of years ago for the anniversary with him and Kevin Conroy reprising an old man, Bruce Wayne. But it's just a different variation of this Batman character that if you get a chance, there's a Justice League Unlimited series 2. It's called Epilogue. It's so good. If you watch Batman Beyond and then you end it and then that's it, and you're like, well, what happened? Because they just ended the series without actually giving it an ending that we all know. You're like, oh, it's like next episode, and there's not one. Like, it's so good.
Jen. Anthony just bought me this Batman and Robin
No
Adventures number
way.
21. He did. He just walked in. I can show you proof on his phone. He made an offer on it and he got it.
Let's see.
Wait, what is it? Is it a rock?
It's the Batman and Robin. Yeah, it's the Batman and Robin Adventures number 21. And he got a 9.6 CGC slab. He made an offer of $75 and they accepted.
Wow.
Oh my God.
gosh.
This goes in my collection.
I
Mr.
am
Burns.
so jealous.
Wow.
Well, he gifted it to you because probably
He's taking
I
the
love
other one
it.
back.
I love it so much. He's one of my favorite people. But he did
Oh my
it, so he's
God.
like, okay, I get my copy and here's your copy.
There you go.
What slide were we on? This one? No, wait. Oh, this one?
No,
Yeah, we can go-
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
You can go to the next one now.
All right, let's go to the next one. Sorry. That was really sweet. Okay.
So if you watch Batman Beyond, this is the movie Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. Holy crud. Poor Tim Drake. But that you need Haley, you'll watch this and you'll be like, we would probably do a watch along. I almost would I don't know what I would do to do a watch along with you and just be
Let's
quiet.
do it.
I would totally. Yes,
And then
yes,
you see this
absolutely.
after watching animated series and then Batman
Done.
Beyond, and then you watch this
Done.
and you're just like, because this movie, so the one on the left is the movie from 2000, the comic book is, and then on the right hand side is Batman Beyond number 21, and that's the first appearance in comic books of that Justice League team. You see, oh shoot, what is it? There's an Aqua lady, what's her name, Marina, and you see a Hawk, Warhawk. Oh shoot, it's fuzzy, but it's basically a hybrid of Hawk Girl and I want to say it's the Jon Stewart character. They have a kid, and this is like the future version of it. And then what's cool is in this Batman Beyond Future, you see Virgil Hawkins. That's the static character, but it's cool. There's Big Barda and there's a new Green Lantern, but this is the first Batman Beyond 21 that is the Justice League of the Future. Yeah, sorry.
You know, I was going to bring up too is, again, the character of Terry McGinnis was actually created by Paul Dini. Again, Bruce Timm. They were in the animated series before the comics. And then also, if you guys don't know, the story is that Bruce Wayne is now Terry's kind of, what do you want to call it, mentor. But so riddle me this. I had heard that, so with the Flash movie, which is it happening? Is it not happening? But Michael Keaton, that was supposed to be the launching pad of Michael Keaton doing Batman Beyond.
So those are a ton of rumors, and we're not sure if we're actually going to get that.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I heard it.
We're kind of in that like holding pattern of, are they going to cancel Ezra Miller or aren't they? They canceled Batgirl already. That's gone. We won't see that movie. We're supposed to get a future old Bruce Wayne Batman. And you all watching, your 60 people who are watching currently, I almost feel like in this 1990s, 1999 version, I want to say it's the first time that we see an old man of the character in an iteration. I might be wrong. So you know how there's like Old Man Logan, and then they kind of go between like Hawkeye and everyone else. But we see Bruce Wayne old and having to pass down the mantle to Terry. Like, I want to say in comics, it's the first time we see that. Like, usually we see the characters, they're everlasting and then they never age. Now we're seeing old man Bruce who just can't be Like that beginning of Batman Beyond, where you see that he can no longer be Batman, is it is super heartfelt, and you're like, I feel so bad, and then you feel him feel that emotion when you watch that
You do.
that episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I'm so excited.
Haley, oh my god.
Haley?
Yeah.
Should be
Watch
you
party.
experiencing these things for the first time. Kind of like those kids who
Yeah.
experience like
Man, I was gonna say, right? Like, send us a list so I can watch it, because there's a lot like that I don't. I know I didn't watch all of that, and I don't remember watching this either. So send us a list for me and Haley so we can.
yeah, there's those
watch.
feelings that you feel like that are, I feel like they're super similar to when you watch Darth Vader be Luke Skywalker's father for the first time, and you're like, it's all these emotions at once. And I feel like in this animated series, you have that a couple of times. And this is the one where when you see Bruce, that he's too old. And then I really do like epilogue in season 2 of Justice League Unlimited. I like it because you see Tara McGinnis's understanding of how he was created, and you have those feelings of like, oh my god, like this is not what I thought it was going to be. So yeah, Haley, I don't like you discovering this for the first time.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. And like I think what else is driving this too is like we're seeing like I feel like the comics, like the art is so good, and like you're pointing out which ones like have really good storytelling, which I think also what is really cool is a lot of these feel a lot more affordable than like the kind of range of comics that will sometimes show, like we do a good range, but you'll see like really high price, and we've seen like maybe 2, but even the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker 9.8 is like $225, which is pretty up there even for a near mint, raw being 130, but what you're speaking to is that the story is so good, and I love seeing like when the both not even just the art but the story is really good, and then like the price point kind of really aligns with that, and you're just like, this is like what really good art is, and it pulls on all of those feelings. And then even with the Batman Beyond, like entering the Justice League, you're seeing like slabs go for about $160, which is incredibly fair, but a last recorded sale probably would beat up copy for $14, but a very fine for $35 is like, again, not totally out of like just like a huge expense. So it's really cool to see this. I'm really excited. It's getting me really hyped. I'm gonna get off this and be like, I need to immediately watch everything. My boyfriend's gonna be like, I thought we had another movie planned to watch. And I'll be like, no. We are binging Batman animated series.
I also
love it.
wanted to somebody in the chat asked about if Mark Hamill was the voice of Joker in this one.
Chat ask,
He
yes.
is.
Yes.
You know, I was gonna bring it up with long time ago, and I completely forgot about it until like again chat brought it up, and yeah, like I was gonna say like I love that his voice, like he's such a great like. I mean, he's a good actor, but his voices for these, it's just they're like amazing, and it sounds so creepy. I just love it.
It is chef kiss Joker. like you, when you I remember in the 90s realizing that it's Luke Skywalker playing Joker, and you're like, he's so good.
See, there's all the testimony that you need. So there you go. All right, guys, we're cruising. Let's keep going. Jen.
Okay, so I really recommend checking out this animation magazine. This is technically volume 17, issue 1, but this is from February 2003. This is the only iteration that I could find in the time that I had for research to find what we see in Static Shock as Virtual Hawking's Static. That's all I could find. And then I felt bad, and I was like, oh, well, technically Static's first appearance is in the Milestone universe, but then DC has this like collaboration with them, but that's on the right-hand side. If you can, Animation Magazine is, yeah, because you see his psychic buddy, and yeah. What do you? This is Brit's, which she remembers watching Static Shock on like Rewind. Like, do you guys Virtual, Rewind, Static, Milestone?
Static went super hot, like what, like 4 or 5 years ago. Everything just flew off the shelves. I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
we sold everything that we had that was static, which I wish I would have held on to it longer. But I do remember that frenzy around this character and all the potential there. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I just remember the cartoon. I didn't even know that like this comic existed. So yeah, I just remember watching the cartoon, not really like totally vivid, but I just remember watching it on Saturday morning. So
Yeah, I have no like recall for
No.
this character, to be honest.
I don't.
It's all
either.
static, Kaylee.
Yeah, exactly. But again, we're seeing another one of just like you can probably get this for a pretty affordable price if you're looking for a raw copy, and if you're really into the character, you're not probably spending too much on a 9.6, 9.8, but it probably is going up. Maybe, I don't know, Jen. You're like,
I'm doing this because there's a couple of different covers, and we couldn't include them all in the one slide. So
they're like a larger range of price.
Yeah. So if you ever come across the static #1, there's a couple different covers from 1993, and then on the right hand side is 2003. So there's a big like 10-year gap, and yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
Good
I remember seeing this like in the dollar bin, in a little plastic bag, and I should have picked it up. There was like few of them, and I just didn't. I didn't know anything about this character. I didn't watch I didn't know there was a cartoon either till it went hot, and then I was like, what?
Okay, wait. So we will for sure do a Virgil Hawking Static Shock show in the future. It's due. There's been a lot of names attached to the potential, and Milestone has come back up into DC. There's a new Static Shock series. There's a lot of potential with this character.
Right, and I feel like I sold too soon. I didn't know back then because I was so new to like the hobby that I wasn't aware of what I was selling, and these just went nuts for a while. Like people knew it was coming up. But anyway, moving on. What do we have here?
Oh, okay. So this is okay. So
Deep breath.
tough. If you watch Batman Beyond, there is an episode called Zeta. I can't remember what season it's in, but it's called Zeta. Now, granted, he does come back in a couple of other episodes where he comes back, but it's in... Basically, it's a robot who becomes sentient, who doesn't want to kill anymore, and he's an assassination droid. But there's more to it. So it becomes the Zeta Project. It's a cartoon that comes out. It's 2 seasons. From my understanding, this is... So what you see in the middle...
Yeah.
Next to the clay kind of character, you see a slight picture. That is Zeta. And that is this Batman Unlimited number 16. He's not mentioned. He's just shown. That is the only, to my understanding, you guys can go do research. Tell me if I'm wrong. That I could find in comic continuity period that he exists. There's no comic of Zeta. It's this whole episode in Batman Beyond. It becomes its own series. It's an android that doesn't want to be an assassination droid anymore that cares about people and then does stuff. So you see a Hero Click toy for like $6, and then season 1, season 2 for like $50. Oh shoot, sorry, Kaylee.
No, go for it. It's all you. Give it. Do it.
So,
Do it, Jen. You're rocking it. Just go with it.
So someone got back in 2002, got for $5, and then plus shipping, got season 1. But to get season 1, season 2, there's like an 8-year gap. So I remember watching it. I remember seeing it in Batman Beyond and being like, "Ooh, interesting character. That's kind of like Terminator, but different." And it's kind of like, what was that Harrison Ford movie with where he is avoiding being caught? Where he's avoid being caught, where he's like on the run.
Oh, the Fugitive.
Yes. So it's kind of like The Fugitive meets like a superhero story where he meets this like teenage girl who like sees more in him and potential. It's 2 seasons of him trying not to be caught, and then he has to be a superhero, and then it just got canceled after season 2. So the producer and then the writers, I think sometime in 2015, 16, there's a potential for season 3. And then in 2020, the producer was like, hey, we're in talks with bringing it back up. This Zeta project, the Zeta, the android that you see very small in that image in the middle, and then more pronounced in the other seasons. We never got it. So it's kind of that, like, it was 2 seasons in this continuity. It exists, but not really. I'm still kind of waiting as a reader for it to be a series, and for some writer and artist to elevate the story to what the potential could be. But yeah, this is all I could find. Like, is that hero clips, the DVDs, and one comic.
And I'll tell you my fun fact. I why it was only 2 seasons. It was based this Zeta. The Zeta project was created by Robert Goodman. Robert Goodman. It was actually supposed to be canceled after the first season. It was because his premise was way too dark for a kids show. On the show, his OG premise was that there was a dark government, there was misuse of technology, and a range of social and political issues. Second season rolled around, it was a little bit lighter, but it was still heavy for a kids show. And basically Robert left because of butting heads. So that's the reason why there is only 2 seasons.
Well, Jen, I covered all my stuff. So next slide.
Next slide. Moving on. Jen, what do we have here?
Okay, so Animated Adventures into the DC Universe. Not amazing read. What's more recommended is Justice League Adventures, and what you see on the right-hand side is Bruce Timm, Alex Ross coloring cover, which is, explains the.
I was gonna say, it looks like I was a little confused. Like, is Alex Ross? But then it looks like Bruce Timm. Like, it was kind of hard to tell. I love that cover.
It's a good collaboration, right? So on the right-hand side, it's 1997. On the right-hand side, it's 2001. We're starting to enter into the end.
Sarah?
Yeah, what's cool about this, again, this, like Jen said, it's developed by Bruce Timm. The show is a prequel to Batman Beyond, Batman the Animated Series, Superman Adventures, and the new Batman Adventures. So there's your continuity.
Awesome cover too, right?
Yeah. I love both of these. I think the one on the left is like my favorite between the two, which is great for my pocket because it's way more affordable. We see the one on the right for $9.8, $175. I'm just like really loving these prices. And it's on a huge upward trend. Raw actually sold for $30 for about near mint, which is awesome. I'm here for both of these. But I really want the one on the left.
I really like the one on the left. Like, you can see all those characters. There are so many in there. Like, you have to kind of like really pay attention to points because like you can see just half of the face, which is, I think it's like, was it Plastic Man or whatever his name is?
I like Flash. He's like, I don't want to be here for this group photo. Why am I here?
Some of them have those faces like, getting out of here. And honestly, the one on the right, like, I just love it. It's like a great poster book. I like it.
Nice. All right. Up next.
Okay.
We're almost done, guys. I love that over 50 of you have stuck with us this entire show, but it's a good topic. Jen's passionate. We're covering as much as we can in the small amount of time that we have. So let's keep going.
So we couldn't cover all of the ads comics. There's a Claritin Justice League comic with Poison Ivy.
I want that.
Right?
I want to see how it looks like.
There's an Electric Company Justice League comic. And then we're going back to, that one. There's a popcorn one. Like, if you're ever digging in back issue bins and you come across a weird ad with like Pizza Hut and X-Men, like, it's weird. If it's like $1, like, just put it in there because it's obscure, it's weird, it's not commonplace. So this is the 8-part series that is Burger King that had kids meals back in like 2003 that came with a comic book and a toy, and there's 8 of them. We only showed 3 because, you know, room. So you have Flash, you have Martian Manhunter, and then you have the whole team. Now, if you collect the whole 8, there's all the characters that are in Justice League. Ads and superheroes is rare, but it's always like a money grab. But at the same time, like, it's rare because when you're buying them in the fast food chains or in that moment, most people don't take care of them. They're just
Is this polybag, Jen? There's a question in the chat.
From my understanding, it wasn't, but again, it's from 2003. It's hard because, like, 2013, I was a freshman in college, and I don't think I had any money, so I don't remember this comic at all.
Sarah, why are you laughing?
She's like, I was a freshman in college. I graduated like 12 years from college.
I don't remember it. I don't. And it's like, I don't remember getting this. I don't have it. Like, I'm searching for it. I've never seen it in back issue bins. It's not going to be the size of a comic book. It's going to be smaller. If you see weird, obscure things and it's cheap, I feel like it's worth it. Just put it in and buy it. It's fine.
You know, I'm
What to add
that's
to
not fair. That's not fair, Chad. I'm vintage. How's that?
Yes.
Love that.
I'm vintage.
I was just wondering if this came with like a Happy Meal, like
It did.
They didn't?
Yeah, it did. It did it was a toy with a comic book.
Wouldn't these like be greasy and like
I assume it has to be kind of covered, like a plastic. I assume.
yeah.
They were in a
They
plastic.
used to give
Wait,
so much better stuff than now.
But a lot
Yeah,
of
now we
kids
get, like,
would probably tear it
stupid.
open and go.
Well, that makes sense because if you're looking at the stats too, it's like they're all like VG fine. Like they're not like you're not getting any of these like near mint. I'm sure if like you probably find a near mint, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like pretty expensive if someone knew exactly what it was, just because it's
Haley, it's
so
a
hard.
small dry grease stain.
Exactly.
Sorry. Ketchup stain. Right? Like that's
Absolutely.
right.
You're like flipping through. You're like, what is that? Oh, okay. Barbecue sauce?
Like,
All right.
it smells
Keep
like
it moving.
ketchup.
Next up, what do we have on this one, Jen?
Okay, so trying to keep in that same theme of that era of animation, it's Comic Scene number 40 from December 1993 on the left, with Max of the Phantasm prominently displayed. On the right-hand side is Overstreet's Fan, number 21 from 1997. Now, I think it's Dave Madden who's the cover. It's not Bruce Timm on the right-hand side. It's hard to find Overstreet's Fan period, that era, but it encompasses that Justice League image of Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Flash. Like, so yeah.
Candace is in the chat. We have to get her on the show. I am determined in 2023 to somehow get her on Nearing Nirvana.
Yes.
Please. Everyone knows my feelings about Candace, so absolutely.
Well, we have to have Candace and no Haley though.
That is so rude. I feel like Candace would be the type of friend to be like, absolutely not. Also, Candace, please say no if they invite you on without me.
No, Candace messaged me. She said yes. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Haley. I just want to see your face.
We're all like
so
shocked. We're all
funny.
equally like
Absolutely not.
That's so
no
funny.
deal. Who are we on? Shit, Sarah, you're up. You're up.
Yeah, this is cool. I like it. Talk to Haley.
Yeah. I mean, again, just really affordable. Like last recorded sale values, like $3 for very fine. Candace. I love the artwork on these, but yeah, that's what I got for you.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Lucy?
I'm good. No comment.
No comment. Moving on. Justice League Unlimited, which I think might be the best animated out of all of them. Jen?
There are so many superheroes that get introduced in Unlimited. In Justice League, they do a whole hodgepodge, but in Unlimited, it's like 41 or 42 or 43 characters that you see in the first couple episodes. It's amazing the amount of heroes you see. It is from 2004. On the right-hand side, okay, it is a Justice League Unlimited jammed pack action from 2009. It is square bound. There's no current sales data, but like there's so many heroes from like Zatanna and etc. on all the heroes they show in the background. There's so many. And there's no current sales data for it. So there's a lot. It's Cartoon Network, Just Unlimited. It's a lot of characters. And if you see it, lower than higher, but yeah.
I'm going to save Jen from blowing up. And like Jen said that, the first episode actually has 50 characters appear. The general format of the show is basically the groups get together and they solve a problem. So it's really cool to see like all these, I guess, unlimited superheroes doing all sorts of cool stuff.
Haley, you are muted, love.
Okay,
there you go.
This is really cool. That's crazy. 50 new characters in just like one. Are they all in the first issue, Justice League Unlimited?
So
on the show,
it's
50 heroes.
So what?
50 heroes, 50 of all Green Arrows and
in this comic, in the one on the left.
In the show. When you watch
show.
Okay.
So it's in the show, but not in the comic.
But also the show. So when you watch, do Batman do some movies, and then when you get to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, which is kind of like this, it's a lot. It's so many that you're like there's people who watch this series who thought like their first Green Lantern was Jon Stewart Green Lantern, right? It wasn't Kyle Rayner. It wasn't the redhead. Oh my god! And then oh my god! I'm like
look at Jen is like overload.
Your ears are like burning, Jen. I can see smoke coming out of them.
It is. There's so many characters. It's ridiculous. Like try to watch those others first, and then
and then come back.
And then Unlimited. There's so many characters. You're like, what? And then you'll just start deep diving, and then you'll never stop.
Oh, I love that. Well, and then like if you want to continue deep diving, you have the comics, which also seem incredibly affordable. So snag them if you can.
I do not like that one on the right. I mean, on the left. It's so weird. I try like to see like what
Batman's
they're going
neck
for.
looks like it's really.
It's like I can't, but the one on the right, I do like that one. It kind of, again, it has a little bit of that. I feel like a little bit of Alex Ross, like a little mix like the other one, like I guess I like it.
Moving on. What's this slide about?
Okay, so real quick, Chad Cave. Yes. The red-haired Green Lantern is Guy Gardner. Thank you. So this is, they re-put out the Justice League cartoon in the modern day era toys. If you see it, I feel like a lot of people are pushing 500, but this person in November got it for around 270. In the middle, it's the Batman animated Batcave, which, so in it, he has like a gray ghost like collection area, and in Batman Beyond he actually puts on the goggles of Gray Ghost, so Ink doesn't know who he is. and it's continuity that like young Jennifer was like freaking out about.
I think now Jennifer is like,
Yeah, I was so happy with that Batman Beyond where he puts on Grey Ghost's gear, so Hank doesn't know who he is. I was so happy, and I'm still so happy.
you're so happy.
Yeah, I'm so happy. And then on the right-hand side, some guy currently is trying to sell a Justice League animation poster with all the signatures of the main characters for 5,000. He hasn't yet sold it, but like it exists. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's too much. But Kevin Conroy passed, and like,
Oh yeah.
that's tough. It hasn't sold yet. It's still sitting there. Good for him for having it. I feel like if I had it, I wouldn't want to sell it. I would just keep it.
Maybe he needs the money. Maybe, you know?
Yeah.
But if you had that in your house, I feel like
Jen's like, never.
I don't think
Yeah, I don't care if Brit needs it. We're not selling it, Brit. Sorry.
I feel like it's PC. If you have that poster with all their voice actors on it, like it's PC, right? No?
Yes, but I mean,
Absolutely. I mean,
but
yeah.
if you're in need, I will totally sell it.
You would
Oh, they're
sell
all
it?
sell it. It can be yours, Jen, said Candace, for $5,000.
Right? Start selling those comics, Jen.
Look, if I had it, I feel like I wouldn't sell it. But $5,000, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we did a large merch slide of figures and the Batcave and the poster. It's tough.
Jen.
Like, come on, you guys.
Jen, who was the voice of Grey Ghost?
Oh, West.
It was.
Like, that is one day. My 2013 wish list is that they do Grey Ghost right. Now, when we first saw Grey Ghost, it was Adam West. It was an actor who was portraying a character. But then they in Gotham Academy, they changed it and it was weird. I don't like it. I kind of want to forget it. But my hope is what they do with in Batman Beyond, the epilogue. They have Terry McGinnis going to see a movie that was the Grey Ghost. My hope is that eventually DC redoes Grey Ghost to how he was meant. Not that weird Gotham Academy stuff that happened, but like they do Grey Ghost as if it was Zorro or as if it was what Batman went to go see, Bruce Wayne went to go see, like as he was a kid. And they bring him into continuity how he's meant to be, right? Like that's my 2013 wish. And if I see it, like I already have the animated cartoon.
2023, Jen.
Yeah, 2013. Like that's my wish is that they do
2023, Jen.
What?
2023.
2013.
You said yes, 2013.
23. She's so like in her zone right now that she can't remember the year.
I have the Grey Ghost comic. I have the Grey Ghost t-shirt. I love Grey Ghost because it's Adam West. I know if they use Zorro and other characters as what he went to go see the night his parents were like put away. But like I want them to do Grey Ghost, Adam West. And they haven't utilized the character though they could be. I have the cartoon, I have the t-shirt. Like I want them to do that character correctly, the way it should be, because it's Adam West and how it meant to Batman. And then it reiterated in Batman Beyond. Like I want them to do it right and all the way through. And that's my 2023 wish.
23.
You got it that time. That was good. From all of us on the panel and everybody watching, you did great. I know this is a huge task to kind of undertake, but we'll break it into segments. And this was just part 1.
Yeah.
Or part 3.
Part 3.
We have part 2 and part 1 to get to too, but you did great, Jen.
In
Fantastic.
part 4 and part 5.
Yeah. Yes.
Dude, you
Yes.
guys need to watch Young Justice. The guy who wrote Gargoyle.
I was watching Young Justice. Remember, I started watching it. I need to catch up again, get on it. But yes, I
So
watched
she's
it.
catching up. We got to call it for the night, but before we do, a little announcement. We are going to have Team Nerd Herd. If you guys are familiar with their podcast, they do a show called Cover Lovers that we adore. It's a great team. They will be joining the Nearing Nirvana family starting January 9th. Will be the first show that they have on our channel. Make sure you show up for that one and show them some love. This is a great group of people. They are just so into comics. They're very positive. They have the same vibe that Nearing Nirvana kind of represents. So shout out to them and make sure you support it. Again, some love to Cover Price, our sponsors. Use code Nirvana14 for 30 days unlimited membership for only 99 cents. And Bird City Comics. Haley, we might have a launch on Friday.
Maybe, hopefully, yes.
Maybe. Hopefully. So if you're following us on Instagram, you'll know. But yeah, follow them because that's our sponsored retailer. And today's giveaway, so if you leave a comment after the show, Anthony brought in
What is it?
Batman Year 1. It's
That's
the
cool.
trade-
I heard it was really good.
Hold it for a second, Yvette.
There. Is that better?
Cuckoo. Yes. Awesome.
This will go home with somebody for free if you guys leave a comment after the show tonight. Before we let everybody go, let's do a quick little round table here. We'll start with Lucy.
Jeez. What? What I say? Thank you guys for
I didn't
tuning
know that.
in. Thank you. I hope that you guys stay with us for this new
What's
year.
on Friday,
Oh,
Lucy? What's on Friday?
Hold on. I'm
Oh,
getting there.
sorry.
So, and you know, like I was saying, you know, this year, like we're having more people joining our family on your Nirvana, and this year, since we had more people on our channel, we did a Secret Santa. So next year's gonna be probably bigger, and we're gonna be revealing. We don't know. I haven't opened my gift. They haven't opened their gift, so we're gonna be revealing what we got from our Secret Santa, and we're gonna be revealing who we got. So watch us this Friday, and it's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be so much fun. So
I'm
excited.
excited.
Haley, you're up next.
Well, I've been like super quiet on my own pages for the last like 3 months, and I feel like I made like an official comeback post today, and just like was pretty open about like what's been going on the last year, and the reception of it has been absolutely beautiful, and the community, as always, is like amazing. And so I'm really excited. I have like, I swear, like 3 different vlogs that I filmed over the course of like winter break that I'm excited to like post in the coming weeks, and some interviews that I've done that I've just been like chilling on my computer. So thanks for anyone who's kind of like stayed on my page and stuff, even though I've been like, you know, gone, but I've been here, which is always really fun. So I'm really glad that like this is the space that I've been hanging out, why I haven't been like on my own stuff. So I'll be making a comeback in 2023.
I'm excited for it, and you deserve it, and we're all here for it. Sarah, love the hair. What's up with you?
Thank you. You know, I want to say happy 2023 to everybody. I'm glad we're back. I'm glad we get to talk more nerd stuff and all this good stuff that's coming up this year. I'm happy that Team Nerd Herd is coming on, and watch Nearing Nirvana on Friday, and don't forget us on Tuesday and then Friday. So happy like short week for everybody, or long week, but yeah, I'm happy to see you guys. I feel like it's been like months. I had to change my hair because I
love it. You look very Black Widow. I love
yeah,
it.
that's right.
Yes.
I'm gonna come snap your neck with my legs.
Watch out, Henry.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
On that note, Jen?
Oh, yeah.
So They Call Me Bruce said ADHD it's funny because when I was a kid, all they had was ADD, but Brit is like, no, it's ADHD. So yeah, like I tried to hone it in. It's kind of all over the place. I tried to then like, thank you guys for watching and participating and writing. Like, it means a lot. Like, I know Nimesh like went above and beyond, and you guys watching now, like, it means a lot. Like the 41 people who are currently watching live, like, and then even
51.
Yeah, 51, and then even on the rewind, like, we appreciate it. There's a lot of nerdum, and it does mean a lot. Like, to be involved in the community and to watching and to like it impacting our lives and for the better. Appreciation and New Year, and I don't know. Thank you.
That's well said. We are incredibly grateful. As Jen just beautifully said, this is a community and we're so proud to be a part of it. We're proud every single week when you guys turn up and watch with us and nerd out with us.
Yes.
And I promise you guys, Friday's show is going to be one for the books. We did a Secret Santa with the Near Nirvana crew, and we will be opening our gifts. Most of us have no clue. I don't think any of us have any idea who our Secret Santa was, but that'll be happening this Friday. Maybe Haley, she might have some of the
return address.
Dude, I told everybody.
Haley, can you post? Can we share that video that you send us?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
so
absolutely.
funny.
I was so mad that I didn't get it on video, but I had no idea. So yes,
Friday.
we can share that video. There is a very epic video of a surprise in my life that I got on Monday, and it was great. It was unexpected to say the least, but I'm glad that it happened. So
it was pretty epic.
Do we Laura, you gonna say anything about for the giveaway or something to type in the chat? Or just let them
so the
just
question
comment,
that you
or
have
what?
to answer after the show, post show, if you want to be in the running for the giveaway. What show did I say during the show at some point reminds me of Jen digging in comic book boxes? What show? No, don't answer, Jen. Don't answer.
Don't answer. She mentioned
Jen,
it during the show. Don't answer that question right now. Let people. So on the chat, type in your answer after the show. Not right now. After the show.
Don't say it, Jen. Hold it in. All right, you guys, again, we love you. We appreciate you. 2023 is going to be insane. So make sure you stick with us. We appreciate every single one of you. We'll see you on Friday.
Wait, please watch Justice League Interesting Unlimited before January 28th. Please. It's worth it. When you watch Justice League before 28th, you'll be like, wow, they introduced so many characters in a nice natural setting.
They'll watch it, Jen. I promise. They will. You guys will watch it, right? They'll watch it. It'll be great.
Yes.
They're going to love it. Okay. Have a good night, everyone.